Rewatching the end of this Lakers-Bulls game. Oh, man. Yep, there's the steal. There's the three. Yep. Reeves. Here comes Giddy. Here he comes. Hey, you better stop ball. Stop ball. Game time. Oh, man. Hate to see it. Yeah, that's sad. That's unfortunate, man. That's unfortunate. Good morning, folks. Good morning. How are we doing today, guys? How are we doing today? It's Friday. How to break out the summer spring wardrobe collection a little bit. We got breakfast. I mean, what more could we want in this life, huh? What's another $1 million? You know, I don't need it. Got a calc midterm. I'm locked. Lock in, baby. You got this shit. My Red Raiders came through last night. One of the crazier games. Definitely the craziest game of the tournament, but one of the crazier games really you'll ever see. Woo! Opening day. What else do we got going on, huh? Was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast a little bit last night. Those degenerates. It's the best sports day of the year. The NFL over-unders drop. Like, all right. Like, all right, let's chill out a little bit. I don't know about that. Straight out of Bikini Bottom. Yes, sir. You know how I roll, man. Straight out of Bikini fucking Bottom. We got a lot to talk about today, actually. Mavs won. The biggest storyline of the night, easily. Have you talked about Lakers Bulls? I just started, brother. Yeah, Cooper Flag looks... I mean, we already know this, but Jesus. I can't see a world in which that guy's not an incredible NBA player. I cannot see a world in which that guy's not an unbelievable NBA player. Right? No, we're going to talk about the Mavs. I watched the game. My softball game was so fucking late that I could have streamed it. I watched the whole game before I left for softball. The game ended and I left for softball. So, yeah, not everybody can beat the Magic. Not everybody can beat the Nets, you know? Just something to think about. And I'm not even referencing any specific team because I don't even know who's lost to the Magic or the Nets recently. But not everyone can beat the Magic. Not everybody can beat the Nets, you know? Is there a team who's lost to those recently? Is there a team that's lost to them? Oh, the Lakers have? Oh, I didn't even know that. Hey, I didn't even know that. My bad. They can't win them all. Here we go. We've had a couple embarrassing performances. The elbow performance was up there with the mango performance. Nothing will top the mango performance, but the elbow performance a couple days ago is up there. Let's start with an actual good word. What's a good word to start with? I'm trying to think of... I like blame. Okay. All right. That we could go any direction we want here, realistically. Probably was a terrible first guess. Now that I'm really looking at it and thinking about it, honestly, probably an awful first guess. I don't know why this word came to my brain, okay? But it came to my brain and I'm going to try it. Grope. And again, I don't know why that word came to my brain. And it's not because of Josh Giddey. Okay. So we know R's in it. Interesting. Interesting. Where do we go here? Do we think the word starts with an R? There's a lot of different options there. Now, the interesting thing is our vowel situation has become quite strange. So much so that I do think another E might be in the equation. I'm only thinking of 4-letter words right now. Rude, 4-letter word. Rube, there's no B option. Crude. Let's try crude. Oh, man. Oh, and I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I knew it wasn't R at the second letter. God. All right. Okay. What an interesting word. There has to be multiple E's involved. No, I guess there could be an I situation. R-I. Rinse. Oh, man, that felt really good. All right, so we know it's blah, blah, R-S-E. Oh, curse? No, can't be curse. Hearse. It's hearse. Oh, my fuck. All right. Okay, it's verse. It has to be verse. If this isn't it, is there any other option? All right, we got there. That's not an easy one. You know, it took us the whole time. That's not an easy one right there. So I'm okay with that. That's a win in my book. Verse? I mean, right? Like, that's a tough one. Clutch. That's right. I'm clutch. Now let's get our connections win out the way. Didn't we lose last time? Beret. All right. Immediately I'm thinking military, but I don't see anything. Beret, a badge. Sash. Okay. Surround. Bracket. Flank. Pitch. I'm kind of getting PTSD from that insane one a couple days ago. I'm getting a little tiny PTSD from it. I have to be honest with you. Let's think. What could be related to city? City. This one feels a little difficult. Study. Bingo. Like, where are we going with bingo? Bracket. Bingo, bracket. I'm kind of thinking like bracket, surround, and flank could all be connected because it's kind of ways to encircle something. But I'm not sure what the fourth option would be there. unless I'm really missing it. We got a pelt, a sling, a sash. What is it? Like, okay. A pelt, a sling, a sash. Those are all things that you can like put over your shoulder, right? This one's fucking hard. What the hell? Let's shuffle. Let's try to like see it differently. I'm gonna try. No, that doesn't sound right. I feel like flank, surround, and bracket. I feel pretty confident those could be connected. But what could be a fourth? Skirt? No, it's not. It's not skirt. Bracket and bingo could have a connection. Study. See, here's the problem with these games. The moment I get a one that throws me out of a fucking loop, like what was the one? It was something with an added vowel. Like it was an insane one, an absolutely fucking insane one. And we got that, and it has completely thrown me off my rhythm. Because now I'm completely overthinking things, and I feel like I might be overlooking obvious ones. Once we get one, we're good. And I'm completely lost, folks. I have to be honest with you. I'm completely lost. Skirt. Now you're thinking about clothing. I'm kind of also thinking about, I skirted away from that one. But I'm not sure. Like, I'm just going to try these four. Let's just get a fucking guess out there. One away. All right. Pitch. Oh, it's not. What are we thinking, chat? What are we thinking? What fun is it if chat gives you the answers? Well, that way we're not doing this for 20 minutes. I didn't see any answers in the chat, by the way, just now. So we're back and locked in. Is this a letter thing? Like bingo, badge, Barrett, bookend, starts with a B? Like, am I overlooking this? But these, I'm pretty confident these three. All right. Be on both sides of. All right. Okay. Bookend. All right. Okay. That was an obvious one. So I was right there. I was right. All right. Now we got to figure out these next four. Going full Monty. Is that one full? Do people say full pelt? That doesn't sound right. Full Monty. Full. Interesting. I kind of feel like pelt, sling, sash, and chuck could all be related. One away. It's definitely these three. Oh, and a badge. Uh-oh. We were no longer one away. Uh-oh. We're in some trouble here. I got to be honest with you. We're in some deep trouble. Sling, pelt, chuck. What the fuck am I missing? This one's kind of hard, man. And I think I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking this big time. I have no clue. Like, I'm looking at all of these and I can't even for the life of me think of one. Let's shuffle maybe. Study. City. Like, what's connected to a city here? City. We have beret. Badge. I'm just going to guess. I don't fucking care. I don't know what. Yeah. Where were we wrong? Hurl, chuck, pelt, pitch, sling. Wait, can we go back and look, please, at the answers, please? Parts of a classic Girl Scout uniform. Oh, my God. How the hell am I supposed to know that? Bingo City, Monty Study Hall. What's a Monty? Oh, Monty Hall. That one wasn't easy. I'm going to be real. Bingo Hall, City Hall, Study Hall. All right. That one, Monty Hall. Okay. I maybe could have got there. I looked like the Lakers last night. Hurl, chuck, pelt, pitch. Okay. Yeah. Really overthought that one. Definitely could have got there. Badge, brace, sash, and a skirt. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what the fucking Girl Scout uniform is. Right? My sister, my sister was probably in Girl Scouts, but I mean, not in any serious capacity. And guys, hey, you don't got to worry about me. Sometimes I know in the YouTube sphere, sometimes it's a little bit dicey. You start to get, you start to like a creator and you never know. Guys, I'm happy to report to you, I have no idea what a Girl Scout uniform looks like, and why the fuck would I, right? Why would I? Can't ever admit when your pathetic narcissistic queen makes a mistake slight? My pathetic narcissist queen. Who's that? Who's a narcissistic queen? Oh, LeBron? You're talking about LeBron James. LeBron James. LeBron James. Him? All right, let's get started. I'm talking about the man on the Lakers. Don't ever sing again. LeBron James. LeBron James. Good morning, folks. It's Friday. Somebody in the stream asked me to stop singing, so now I'm singing a lot. It's Friday, March 28th, 2025, 10:56 a.m. Central Standard Time. Some say the best time. Not me, frankly. West Coast time is, I think, above and beyond the best time zone. Just from the perspective of, for example, last night, Texas Tech game ends. My Red Raiders are headed to the Elite Eight, baby. Hell of a game by our boys in red. Thank you, Arkansas, for the hilarious choke job. That's what you guys are best at. And I know I probably got some Razorbacks in the chat, but that's what you guys are known best for. My Red Raiders got a tough task ahead of them in Florida. They've got to really hone it in. They can't play that badly to start the game because they will lose by 50 points if they play that poorly against Florida. And I kind of look at this Texas Tech team that's been a three-point shooting team over the course of the season, that they haven't shot well in the tournament. They're kind of due a game. There's a chance they get their shooter back tomorrow night. We'll see, man. We'll see. I definitely think Tech will be fairly, I think if I had to guess, and let me see if there's a line yet. I'm going to guess the lines right now. I would say 7.5 would be my guess for how much Florida would be favored by. Is that line up yet? Do we know? 6.5. All right. So I was pretty close. So, not a lot of margin for error. Tech's kind of do a big 3-point shooting game. We'll see how it all pans out. But a great game for my Red Raiders. The best game of the tournament, of course, it involves the team that I'm watching and rooting for. And I can't lie to you. I did not think that Tech would come back. And full disclosure, I haven't watched them at all this season prior to the conference championships. I've seen a couple of their games, but I hadn't followed them really. I thought the game was over. I didn't think the tournament works like this. You have a bad 3-point shooting night. Your guys struggle to get going. That's the end of the game. And Tech was 25% from 3. But what matters is they hit ginormous shots at the end. Darion Williams. This guy's smile. This guy's kind of insane. He smiles mid-play. They showed a replay of it was down the stretch. It was one of those jump ball calls. He was smiling mid-play. This guy's a fucking lunatic in the best way possible. Hit the ginormous 3 to tie the game. Ginormous 3 to tie it. And then they take care of business. JT Toppin got going a little bit in overtime. That just unguardable hook shot that he's got going on. Can we get a big 3-point shooting game against the Gators? That's what we ask for. But anyways, an incredible game. Williams last year had 30 and 10 with 100% true shooting. He's a monster. Yeah, I mean, he's very good. He's very good. So shout out to Texas Tech. Moving on. Survive and advance. I don't have a chance to win my bracket, my big bracket. We'll check in on that on Monday whenever we've got our Final Four sort of cemented. We'll check in on that. But I do have a chance to win a money group that I'm in. I think I need some things to go my way, but it's not impossible for me to win. I'm at 4.9% chance to win. I need Texas Tech to reach the national championship, Houston to reach the national championship. Not impossible, right? Not likely, but not out of the realm of possibility. Very much on the table. Solly, if Tech makes the Final Four, you coming down to San Antonio? I never want to go to San Antonio ever. So no. No, I'm just kidding. I don't like San Antonio whatsoever. But no, I won't be going to San Antonio. Although that would be a lot of fun. Where are they playing it at? Are they playing it at the Alamo Dome? I hate. And hate's a strong word, but believe you me, I do hate. I hate when they play college basketball games in a fucking football stadium. I think it's the dumbest shit in the world. So that's what we've got going on in March Madness. Cooper Flag is just... I was saying this before I started recording, but I don't know what would have to happen for Cooper Flag to not be an incredible NBA player. I mean, he literally every box he checks. Every single box he checks. He is... And when you watch him, what I like most about him, he's just, 1, cerebral. 2, great feel for the game. 3, lunch pail type of guy. First guy in, last guy out. Deceptive athlete. Hard worker. They don't make him like that anymore. Am I missing any of them? Coach on the floor. No, but seriously though, he really does, and this isn't just a white guy thing. He really is his main primary focus is getting his teammates going, and he has all of the skills, the tools to go out and drop 30 points, which he did last night. But he gets everybody going. The game flows incredibly well when he's on the court. He's going to be an incredible NBA player. Like, fantastic. I don't know, number 1 guy, to be honest with you. I don't know. Like, that's difficult to predict. I think it's definitely on the table, but he's going to be an incredible NBA player. Incredible. I'm pretty excited for that, and I hope the Mavs somehow win the lottery if they don't make the playoffs. I'm praying for it. He plays the game right way. Grinder, gritty, scrappy, sneaky, athletic. There you go. Sneaky, athletic. I want somebody to say that about Cooper Flag. I want somebody to say it like on an ESPN show. Ironically, but people don't know it's ironic. Just like, Cooper Flag, this guy's kind of a sneaky athlete. Everyone's like, what? Sneaky? Isn't that like his whole thing? Just feels like a guy whose team can't be bad. That's the best way to describe it. Like, it feels like if he's on the court, he gives you a certain level that you'll be at, Just feels like whatever team that he's on, they're going to play good basketball. We'll see if he gets drafted by the Wizards, if that continues, or the Hornets. immovable object meets unstoppable force there. Let's get going. We talked about the crazy Texas Tech game, the crazy ending to that game last night. That might not have been the crazy ending to a basketball game last night. The Lakers, they, what's the best way to describe this? They pooped and peed all over the floor last night in the closing seconds of the game to drop their second straight game to the Bulls. They are there's two ways that you could look at this, right? They are obviously a Josh Giddey half-court three away from, winning 2 straight games on the road, back-to-backs against the Pacers and against a Bulls team that's playing well. That's pretty solid, right? But they're also a fortunate LeBron tip-in away from losing 5 straight games. There's a lot to sort of go over. First and foremost, let's take a peek back at the end of this game, because it was one of the crazier games. I believe the Lakers had, I want to say I had it all. I literally just watched the second half of this game this morning. I want to say they had a 15-point lead with 5 minutes left. I mean, they shit themselves for sure. But here's the closing sequence here. 12 seconds left, and the Lakers are up by 5 points. Five-point lead with 12 seconds left. You're going to get Patrick Williams 3 here in the corner. Really porous defense there by the Lakers. Miscommunication. LeBron and Reeves both fly to Vucevic, leaving Patrick Williams wide open in the corner for 3. All right. Hey, 2-point game with 9 seconds left. We make our free throws. We win. LeBron has a atrocious turnover right here. Lazy pass on the inbounds. Great play by Giddey. Kobe White, who's just playing on another play in it lately, even though he struggled for most of the game yesterday. Boom, game tying 3. Okay, this fan sitting courtside, sprints across. And folks, I did sit courtside for a game earlier this season. I've got nothing else to say other than that. No, but if the game that I went to was close, there's a chance I could have been in a similar position. I can't, there's a chance I could have been sprinting across the sideline. But there he goes. He's going to the fucking locker room. That guy was still going. All right, so huge shot by Kobe White. We're hype. Let's go. All right, Lakers take a timeout. Austin Reeves had 2 really tough finishes towards the end of this game. Boom, puts the Lakers in front. Bulls don't have a timeout. 3.3 seconds left. 1-point lead. Stop ball, game's over, right? Stop ball, game's over. Stop ball. Need some pressure on the ball here. Got to get some pressure on the ball here. Josh Giddey, half-court 3 to win the game. Very reminiscent of the Max Strus game winner from a year ago when the Cavaliers beat the Dallas Mavericks. Absolutely one of the crazier shots you'll see. That's now twice that Luka in the last calendar year has, or not calendar, yeah, probably calendar year. Twice in the last, when was that Cavs game? Twice in the last 2 seasons that Luka's lost on a heartbreaker shot. Now, it's interesting. Which one's worse? Because on one hand, the Mavs-Cavs game last year, the Mavs, that was a great game through and through. Mavs fought back. They got a tough finish at the end of the game. PJ Washington hit what should have been the game winner, and then Max Strus hit that shot. Kind of a crazy-ass game. I think I remember vividly me being like, hey, all right, boys, you play like that. You're going to win almost every single game you play. You play like that, you're going to win almost every single game that you play. Head up. It sucks. This one's a little bit different because you shit all over yourself, right, in embarrassing fashion. So this one probably feels worse. This one probably feels a little bit worse because you shit all over the court, right? Like there was a biohazard on the middle of the floor. So that's what I would say. Let's talk a little bit about the Lakers, right? Because, well, anytime they lose, it feels like a referendum. But also, we're getting to this point in the season where playoffs are right around the corner. I wouldn't say single games matter all that much. It's March. Weird things happen around this time of the year. Teams are looking forward to the playoffs. Teams are checked out. You've got guys that are fighting for their NBA lives, that are putting up crazy performances. Like, you know, a lot of things can happen. Now, that being said, we're on kind of an extended stretch now of the Lakers, who had that crazy winning streak. They had the best defense. It was, oh my God, this team is championship contender through and through. Over the last 15 games, LeBron's missed a solid chunk of those. Over the last 15 games, Lakers 7-8. 19th defense and defensive rating over that stretch. That's important to note, right? I just knocked the fucking banana on the ground, man. Just knocked the banana on the ground. Bubba, 21 months. Hey, slightly, been a while. How are you doing? I'm good, Bubba. How are you, buddy? Last 10 games, Lakers 4-6, 119 defensive rating. Which, in case you're wondering, is 22nd in the NBA. Now, do you want to know what other team in the league is 4-6 over their last 10 games? I'm just saying. Do you want to know what team over their last 10 games has a better net rating than the Los Angeles Lakers? And I'm not, those are just stats. Right? And that's just, I'm just reading stats. I'm not saying anything. I'm just reading stats. I'm just reading stats too. But anyways, no, the Lakers' defensive surge that they had was clearly a little fraudulent. Not to say that they're not a good defensive team, because I do think they tap into stuff defensively. Could be a top 10 defense, sure. That stretch where they were the number one defense, you watch the games, a lot of it was predicated on shooting luck. Right? A lot of it was predicated on shooting luck. And, you know, when you're the best defense in the league over that long of a stretch, or a top whatever defense they were, you know, it's real. They're a good defensive. They can be a good defensive team, right? Are they that top level number one defensive team? No, they aren't. Let's just be serious with ourselves, right? I think what's a little bit more concerning to me, I would say, is offensively, and I know they've been without LeBron and stuff, but really, their offense, and there's moments offensively where their team just looks unstoppable, right? Moments where their team looks unstoppable. Julian with the $10. You're the GOAT. That's all. Well, you're not wrong. Almost crashed out over Texas Tech last night. Hey, well, you know, it got to a point, and again, I haven't watched a lot of Red Raider games this year, so I'm not like super diehard, but it got to a point where I was at least happy they fought back. You know, I was at least happy they fought back, but yeah, I mean, that was an incredible game. That was an incredible game. The Lakers have moments offensively where they look fantastic. They look unguardable. But since the trade, and Luka missed time, it took a while for Luka to come back. LeBron's missed time. They've had guys in and out. They've been a league average offense. That's the part to me where I'm like, okay, if I'm trying to carve a path for you to win a championship this year, which some people think the Lakers can, I don't at all. But if I'm trying to carve a path, you have to be absolutely elite offensively, I think. Right? You have to be elite. You have to be an elite offensive team. And they have not been that, which is it's a little strange to me. I think it's personnel driven. I think it's, you know, so LeBron came back and people in my chat are, why are you talking about LeBron? Why are you talking about LeBron? Okay. Because one, I don't do the thing that all of you guys do. And I've seen it, guys. I've seen it. The opening salvos have been fired. I've noticed it on Twitter. LeBron and Luka stands, they're full-fledged going at it. We've had opening salvos. It's kind of similar to like Fort Sumter, right? Where we've had some, was Fort Sumter the one where, that was the Civil War, right? I want to make sure my history is right. First battle of the American Civil War, right? We're firing some cannon shots. We're not at the Battle of Gettysburg yet, and that's fucking coming. I tried to warn you guys. Start digging your trenches, right? you guys aren't prepared for what's in store when it comes to LeBron Luka stands going at it. I said this, it's like the stand wars that you got, Kyrie and Luka, maybe that you saw in Mavs fandom. That was like the Civil War kind of, right? Where it's just like you're fighting with muskets still, or rifles or whatever. It's still very kind of an older, conventional military style, right? You see some advances, right? You're now in that period where World War I's about to start, and you're not prepared for it yet because you don't know what a machine gun is just yet. You don't know what tear gas is or mustard gas is just yet, but it's about to be unleashed upon you. That's what's coming. Okay? It's gonna be fucking bad. Just letting you know. We're already seeing the opening salvos getting fired. But no, LeBron had a rough 2 straight games. I'm surprised he even played in this game, considering how he looked in that game against Indiana a couple nights ago. And yeah, there is sort of a my turn, your turn approach that they're taking right now that we saw whenever Luka and Kyrie first got together. That we saw where it was just, you would look at it and you'd be like, man, can we figure out a way to get them involved in some action together? Can we figure out a way to where Kyrie's playing off of Luka and Luka's playing off of Kyrie versus what it looks like now where it's, okay, Luka, I'm going to do my shit. Kyrie, hold on a second. Or Kyrie, hey, Luka, I'm going to do my shit. Luka, hold on a second. That's kind of where we're at right now. But they still have stretches offensively where it fucking looks dynamite. I find all of these numbers so interesting. Like, what do I take away from all of this? So Luka, LeBron, and Reeves on the court together is just terrible. Defensively, they're awful. And my problem is, well, that's what the 199. How are you able to talk when a war is going on? I'm razor focused. If you guys were in my playback yesterday, we streamed the Rangers game, playback.tv/ShadleyBuys. We did stream the Rangers game. I did my Bleacher Report stream during that, and people in my playback stream could not believe how professional I was. You know, how I flipped that switch, boom, ready to go. You know, boom, ready to go. So Luka, LeBron, and Reeves on the court together, and I'm only including the games in which all these guys have played because that doesn't feel fair to me. Defensively, we know that's going to be bad. Offensively, that has to be an elite trio. You know, we have to be pushing 127, 128 offensive ratings, which I know is very high, but that needs to be pushing like, oh, this is one of the greatest offensive groups you'll ever see. Right? And we're not getting that right now. LeBron and Reeves on the court, that's good. Luka and LeBron on the court has not been good. -10 net rating, just in the games that they've played so far. Granted, only 72 minutes, a 103 offensive rating. That kind of goes back to what I've said. Kind of weird and wonky. Luka and Reeves have been great, and a lot of that was over that stretch where LeBron was out, and Luka was really starting to get going. Luka by himself, great. Again, a lot of that during that stretch where LeBron was out and Luka started to get going. And LeBron by himself, great. So Austin Reeves by himself, great at only 10 minutes. But, you know, you're starting to see how it's just like this weird wonky fit. Can't believe you said these guys are better than the Mavs final run roster. Can't believe you tried to say these guys are better than the finals run Mavs roster. Wait, did I say that? Wait, did I say this Lakers team was better than the Mavs team last year? No, I don't think I said that. I said this team sucked the moment it happened. Maybe did I say that? I really don't think I did. I think I said they're better than the Mavs conference finals run. I think I did say that they were better than the Mavs Western Conference Finals run. And you know what? I think that's probably still true. I mean, this team has LeBron James on it. You've been pretty low on them. I have been pretty low on them. Well, I didn't think their defense being like the best defense in the league was real. Is the problem. So LeBron's been struggling. And the thing is with them, with their personnel, you have to be, why don't you guys tell me the chat was blocking this? You have to be elite offensively. You just do. It's just not going to happen between now and the end of the season, but they'll reach a point where LeBron and Luka are playing off each other. They ran a couple interesting sets at the end of the game last night, getting Luka post-ups on Patrick Williams late in the game. Scored on one of them, missed on the other one, but 2 great looks. Like that stuff's really interesting to me, right? But there's a lot of your turn, my turn happening right now. LeBron's kind of struggled since coming back from that injury a little bit. Chat sort of looks like your thoughts as you're talking to stream. Yeah, I mean, and my thoughts are all over the place. Luka's still struggling at the rim. Luka's 3-ball. What's he been shooting from 3 lately? I mean, my God. Luka's found his 3-point shot. That much is certain. 4 of 12 last night, but I mean, he's been crazy from 3. %45 from 3 over the last 8 games for Luka on 10.5 attempts. Crazy. Shooting like, there times last year we were like, dude, Luka might be the best non-Steph Curry shooter in the league. Like, considering his degree of difficulty. Luka's also hit a couple of catch-and-shoot threes. A really interesting play last night where he relocated after a pass to connect and shot a wide-open 3. That was really interesting because you don't see Luka do that very, very often, if ever. So we'll see. I mean, I saw people on Twitter asking, should we be concerned about the Lakers? I guess it depends. Concerned about what? Like, what do you mean concerned? If you think this team could win the NBA Finals, like that's actually what you think this year, yeah, you should be concerned. They're not going to do that. Right? They're not going to do that. Concerned is if like, oh my God, this Luka stuff's not going to work with LeBron. No, I wouldn't be concerned about that, to be honest with you. I think this stuff will work out. They are PJ and a center away, in my opinion. And look, this thing, like, so going into the season, if you were to tell Lakers fans, hey, you guys going into the season with what they had, what's the end goal for you guys? Well, they would tell you championship. We have 40-year-old LeBron James. We have an older 32-year-old Anthony Davis. We want to win the championship, right? But if you were to tell them, all right, what if you don't win the championship? What if you lose round 1, round 2, but you get Luka Doncic in the middle of the season? They say, oh, okay, good season. Doesn't matter. Good season. This season's successful. The future of our franchise has been saved once again. Once again, we were on the downturn, right? It's about to be over because realistically, we can't fucking do shit, right? We're probably going to draft horribly. Probably just going to be on our hands and knees begging for anybody to come to LA. They're just going to give it to us, right? They're just going to give it to us. Do you remember when Kyrie tried recruiting LeBron last year? What if that happens this year? What if LeBron leaves the Lakers? I mean, that would be pretty hilarious. It's not happening, though. Have NBA ratings gone up since the trade? I'd be concerned if the trade that's supposed to save the NBA is actually not a needle mover. Oh, they've had a couple of Lakers games have been some of the highest performing regular season games in years. I remember that. What was that, the Celtics game? So what's the future of the Lakers when LeBron retires? They still need a lot of work. Yeah, I mean, this was... And I tried saying this right after the trade. Like, this isn't that impressive of a roster right now. You have Luka, though, so that cancels out a lot of stuff. If you just want to say Luka and Reeves might be our 2 guys moving forward, all right, that's somewhat interesting. But yeah, they don't have a lot of picks. Reeves is a pretty interesting trade asset if you're talking about like going out and getting another star, like assuming LeBron retires soon. But it doesn't really matter because, again, you have Luka, so it cancels out a lot of other stuff. So I don't know. A tough one for the Lakers. Crazy ending. And this is, I think, what you're going to get. We've seen this with Luka-led teams. We know this. Losing to teams in these stretches where you're like, what the fuck's going on? Why are we losing? What the hell's happening? LeBron teams have these as well. These stretches where you're like, what the hell just happened? Why did we just lose that game? Why are we kind of like nonchalantly bringing the ball up? Nonchalantly. I thought Luka had a great third quarter in this game. Fourth quarter, he comes back. And you know, okay, I want to say this real quickly here because I saw some of it in the chats. I saw it on Twitter. I wasn't able to catch this game live. I was at softball and also laser focused on the Tech game. Saw Giddey hit that shot. I was like, all right, I need to go back and watch this shit. I watched the second half. I didn't watch the first half of the game. I watched the second half of the game this morning. I saw everything on Twitter, right? Like, oh my God, I can't believe how, like, Luka just got iced out of the game completely. I didn't see that. Honestly, I didn't see that. The stuff, it's wonky, right? It is wonky. There's some your turn, my turn stuff going on for sure. But it was did Luka play all 12 minutes last night in the third quarter? Paul with the $5. With Luka, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both. There you have the Doncic life. That's right. That's right. 100%. So Luka kind of dominated the third quarter of the game. $12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 4 of 7. 12 minutes. I think it's 7 minutes in the fourth. Guys, I've said this forever, and he hasn't done this a lot with the Lakers. He doesn't play full first quarters. But the Luka plays entire quarters. I was an advocate against it the entire time he was on the Mavericks. You could go back and look. I was against it the entire time. I never liked it. I always felt like it led to him coming back in the fourth quarter, and he doesn't have his rhythm. He's been playing full third quarters for them. I don't like Luka playing full quarters. I know he might like it, but I don't. The way that he plays with how much energy it requires, I'm not a fan of it personally. And I don't think it's a coincidence then that sometimes, like if you just look at his quarter by quarter numbers, you know, it tails off pretty dramatically. It's his defense. Anyone can go by Luka. Doesn't matter who. I would say Luka is probably a below average defender would be what I say. He's not terrible defensively. I wouldn't even necessarily say he's bad defensively, although he does have bad stretches. If you think Luka's shooting 41% field goal and averaging 4 turnovers a game is regular Luka, you're not a real fan of his. He's not fully healthy. No, Luka's not going to be healthy this season. Luka doesn't fully healthy. Go back and look at even at times last year before that knee injury popped up around February, March, whatever it was. I mean, a healthy Luka is relentless at the rim. Relentless. Luka's an elite defender against bigs. So, I mean, why do we have to use the word elite? This is what I don't understand. It always made me sound like a hater whenever I would push back against it. And it's not what I want to sound like. But it's that elite word. It's just like, no, he's not. Look at numbers. Numbers don't lie. Defensive numbers do lie. They do lie. Nobody takes defensive metrics seriously. It's part of the reason why, and you want to know how you can tell this. It's part of the reason why Draymond Green is now the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. Why is that? Because there's no good defensive metrics. You can look at offensive metrics and you could say, okay, true shooting, all right, cool. But box score on off, EPM, whatever this shit is, right? Okay, cool. You can look at it. Taylor Jenkins fired? Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what? Excuse me?
Heard he has been unwilling to confirm, but league sources tell me that the San Antonio Spurs are De'Aaron Fox's perfect.
I'm the source now. Very surprising breaking news here at the Slightly Biased News Network. We can't believe we have this news to share to you. This is one of the more shocking things I've seen in quite some time. The Memphis Grizzlies have announced they have parted ways with head coach Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins has been fired by the Memphis Grizzlies on March 28th, weeks away from the playoffs. I'm at a loss of words. I'm at a bit of a loss of words here. What are we missing? He is away from the team due to a death in the family where people reporting he's fired. Chris Hayes just reported that they're parting ways. Grizzlies, Mark Stein, just now. Grizzlies have stunningly announced the dismissal of coach Taylor Jenkins. He got fired. What the absolute fuck? Yeah. I mean, there's clearly way more to this story. If you follow any Grizzlies fans, you know that they've at times been frustrated with him, but I don't think. I mean, how can you fire him in March 28th? I mean, this is just what? All because Jaren Jackson can't rebound? I mean, what? I want to stay on this a little bit because we have to hear something somewhat soon about this, right? So I'm wondering. I'm looking just at the Grizzlies subreddit. I'm just wanting to see if maybe there were storylines along the way that we missed. They're saying I was all for moving on. Not surprised it happened. What the fuck? I don't hate the decision, just the timing. Why would you not wait until the end of the season? I mean, they're celebrating it in the subreddit. So, wow. Maybe the locker room was lost. I mean, dude, doing this on March 28th is shocking. Shocking. This is what Mavs fans wanted so late in the season last year. Bane told me he lost the locker room. Bane told you? All right, we got an exclusive source here in the chat. No, this doesn't. I mean, this is like you start to hear, look, Budenholzer, assuming the Suns get a somewhat early exit. Budenholzer feels like a dead man walking. Those are the type of reports you hear leaking out over the course of the season. Oh, they don't like Vogel with the Suns last year. Like, oh, man, they don't like him really. Like, yeah, we'll see. You know, the players kind of laughed whenever he tried to get into it, right? You hear those reports as like, oh, that guy's getting fired. That guy's getting fired in the offseason. Just to do it on March 28th is, wow. I mean, that's insane to me. Fifth longest tenured coach in the NBA, by the way. I mean, they've struggled. They definitely struggled lately. I think if you watch this Grizzlies team at all, it's fairly obvious. It's fairly obvious that they're not a team that's serious in championship contention this year. But they're the 5 seed right now. You know, they're like holding down a playoff spot comfortably. Like they're going to be a top 6 team comfortably. Man, that does start to. I'm not gonna lie. I'm now immediate gut reaction. I'm starting to wonder We talked early in the season about their crazy rotations, how they would go 10, 11, 12 deep at times. Starting to wonder if maybe that caused a point of contention with the front office. I'm wondering if maybe this Ja Morant situation over the last 2 years, just, you can't rely on him to play. Is there something there? Is there sort of a rift there? I'm now kind of looking at their future. A bad loss to the Thunder last night. Jesus. Check out Taylor's post-game comments. All right, where can I find them? Memphis's GM, Zach Kleiman. I'm genuinely appreciative of Taylor's contributions to this team and the city over the past 6 seasons. This was a difficult decision given the consistent, intangible development of our players and overall success under Taylor's leadership. I wish Taylor the very best moving forward. So last night, the Grizzlies and Thunder Grizzlies were up by 2 points with 7:41 left in the fourth quarter. And in the span of 5 minutes, OKC was up by 20 points. The Thunder outscored the Grizzlies 34-15 in the fourth quarter. They're only up 2. It's not that big of a lead. No. But, I mean, losing on the road to the Thunder, being up 2, 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter is not, that's whatever. It's in 5 minutes, you're down by 20 points. That's bad, right? Taylor Jenkins post-game comments. I mean, this is insane. I mean, this is actually crazy, honestly. Memphis Grizzlies YouTube. I mean, is this going to be worth watching? Dead man walking. Hey, it's our guy.
We turned the ball over too much. Obviously, it was 99-99. Dort hits a couple of
This is Taylor Jenkins' post-game press conference last night.
threes. We just had some empty possessions that didn't go our way. I think we had like 14, 15 points off our turnovers. That was definitely the turn.
Now, it seems like you all did battle as far as the fourth time seeing OKC. Are you more impressed with, even though we lost, more impressed with how your team played today other than those 3 previous games?
Yeah, I mean, I think progressively every game that we've played against them, we've shown better fight. Love the fight from the group tonight. Very encouraging. Obviously, fourth quarter was, probably everyone's natural takeaway, but what we did for the first 3 and change was awesome. I thought our discipline, our physicality was great. Obviously, Shea's a heck of a player. They got a deep team. They've got a lot of answers for a lot of things that you throw at them. But we had great ball movement, 15 assists in the first. I thought we could have had some more in the second. Obviously, the turnovers, bit us in, the fourth quarter. So overall, very encouraging, especially the tail end of a long road trip. The fight that our guys showed, we got to take away. It's not the margin of the loss here. It's just the fight that we had. That's the biggest encouraging thing.
So I don't know. I don't listen to any Taylor Jenkins post-game presser, so I don't know how this is compared to other ones.
Even playing like you all played, just dead and just bang, just shot just one ball.
Yeah, a lot of great looks. I even thought Tripp ended up with 27. He had so many great looks, spots on the floor. Dez had, open looks, but you got to give them credit. Their physical defense, they've got a lot of great individual defensive players that, make it challenging and wear on you. But, I love the looks. Dez was doing a great job playmaking throughout the game, taking what the defense was giving them. They were blitzing them. They were playing aggressive one-on-one defense and just, wasn't his night. But overall, I thought, looks like he got, obviously, and that Tripp got as well, throughout the game were the ones that we usually get. very encouraging. I mean, I love the fight going against the best team in the NBA. Very encouraging signs about how we came in with the right fight, and then also a tail end of a road trip. These are games that sometimes you can be looking forward to going home, and we weren't satisfied. We wanted to progressively get better. From the Sac game, the Portland game, the Clippers game. The second half of the Utah game was more reminiscent of who we are, and we came in here.
All right, that was a waste of time. Sorry. I thought there'd be something interesting there. If you take the first letter of each word he says, he's wanting to leave, and the locker room is toxic. Whoa. Oh, shit. How deep does this go? How deep does this go? Wait a second. FedEx form on this frame right here. His head is partially blocking the X, so all you see is Fed.
In the second, obviously.
Rewind that. Hold on. Rewind that. Slow down. Slow that down.
In the second.
Pause it. Oh, my God. Fed. The FBI is about to raid the Memphis Grizzlies. How deep does this go? Holy shit. All right. This is deep. This runs deep. Wow. I'm a little bit scared that we just uncovered this information live on stream. I have to be honest with you guys. I might delete this stream. I just don't know if I want this out there. I mean, it's weird like even talking about this right now because I feel like there's so much that we don't know. Something had to happen behind closed doors. You think job for the season news coming, but how would that relate to, and now I'm getting American's Navy ads. Be part of something special. No thanks. Slightly overreact. Well, I'm not trying to overreact. This is an absolutely crazy thing to happen mid-season for a team that's 5th in the West. It is pure speculation. It might be as simple as they lost the locker room, things were getting bad. Let's just rip this Band-Aid off. I mean, surely that just pretty much has to be it. Suns should hire him. Yeah, come on, Suns. Budenholzer feels like a dead man walking. Like, come on, Suns. 5th coach in 5 years. Surely this time it'll work. New Shams. Yeah, that's true. Mid-season is even kind of pushing it. Taylor Jenkins was called into the Grizzlies office this morning, was fired in person. Sources tell ESPN. Stunning dismissal. Jenkins now becomes one of the top head coaching candidates for the upcoming cycle. He had a .539 winning percentage as the Grizzlies coach. So what do we think Taylor Jenkins does? Do we think Taylor Jenkins... If I'm a team looking for a coach, I'm looking at Jenkins and I'm like, I'm probably a younger team, right? I was just thinking the Kings. I'm probably a younger team who kind of wants to establish a culture. I'm thinking Kings post-rebuild maybe. Kings kind of tear it down a little bit. Spurs, oh yeah, pop replacement. Wizards. No, Hornets, they like Charles Lee. Just goes to show that coaching is the most unstable career path to choose. Doesn't matter what you do, too many people to please. Yeah, odds are you're gonna get fired at some point. What it was like? What do you think the percentage is? I mean, you're looking at Pop, you're looking at Kerr, you're looking at Tibbs. I'm sorry, not Tibbs. No, I don't think Tibbs is safe. I meant to say Spoelstra. You're looking at those three. Those three probably are, and honest to God, I would say Kerr's probably not as safe as those other two, but Spo and Pop are like the two coaches that I would say are almost under no circumstances going to get fired. And then I would say Kerr would probably be next. Question slightly, top 3 hottest seats in the NBA. Well, I guess the Grizzlies were number 1. I feel like at this point in the season, you're not on the hot seat. But the question would be, what playoff team is probably axing their coach if there's an unfortunate postseason exit? Well, my God, dude, the Bucks are the 6th seed right now. Jesus Christ. If the Bucks lose in round 1 to the Knicks, do they get rid of Doc? Surely not, right? I doubt it. Budenholzer seems like he's probably on the hot seat. Yes. I think how do we feel about Chris Finch? Like, I feel like if the Timberwolves, what if the Timberwolves lose in the play-in tournament? I don't think they would, but I think Finch could be on the hot seat. Dagnall's obviously not on the hot seat. Ime's completely and totally safe in Houston. I would say Michael Malone is probably safe, but if they flame out in the playoffs, I think it's possible. JJ's safe. Well, Taylor Jenkins is not safe. We know that. Ty Lue's almost certainly safe, right? They would be stupid to do that. Kerr's safe. Finch, I think, probably could be fired. Christie, I don't think. Doug Christie's, I don't think, going to be the head coach there going into next year. And then what? The Trailblazers have been feisty this year, so I think Chauncey's probably safe. I haven't really followed their situation well enough to know how fans feel about that, but I have to imagine Chauncey's probably safe. Kid probably has the most security in the league, for being honest. Kid's safe. I don't see a world in which Kid gets fired. They hate Chauncey. I think for their roster and stuff, they've played well enough that I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back. Doug Christie's not in the hot seat because he's not really sitting down in the first place. That's true. Then out east, Kenny Atkinson obviously safe. Joe Mazzulla obviously safe. I would say Tibbs is. I follow some Knicks fans that would lead you to believe that maybe Tibbs is on the hot seat. If they were to lose, I just can't see a world in which the Bucks beat the Knicks round 1 if Dame's not playing. But let's just say the Knicks lose round 1. I don't know. I could see a world where Tibbs gets fired, I guess. What about Rick? What about our guy Rick? JB Bickerstaff absolutely safe with the Pistons. Hawk's job could be open for sure. I think Jamal Mosley's safe. They've really had kind of a letdown season. There could be some job openings for sure. I mean, this is insane to me. What do we think about Jamal Mosley's seat? I have to imagine it's safe. Billy Donovan is now safe. How long has Billy Donovan been with the fucking Bulls? Feels like my whole life. Hot take, the Clippers are the second scariest team in the West. My thing with the Clippers is I could absolutely get behind that take. It's just Kawhi hasn't finished a playoff series since 2021. Oh, wait, Kawhi hasn't finished a playoff series against 2021? Yes, and it was the Dallas Mavericks that he was fully fucking healthy against. Yes. Last time that he was fully healthy over the course of a playoff series. Now, if you were to come back from a time machine and tell me, hey, Kawhi Leonard, believe it or not, healthy all throughout the playoffs, I could maybe get there. with them being the second best team in the West. Second scariest team, at least in a postseason setting. They've got size. They've got athletic defenders. They've got shooters. They've got 2 Hall of Famers. You know you have one of the greatest playoff performers we've seen in Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, I could be talked into that pretty easily, especially because I don't think there's a clear-cut second-best team in the West right now. Thought some people named Taylor. They should all get fired. Playoff Harden, such a wild card. I don't think it's a wild card. I think you know what you're getting, unfortunately. Man. This is really interesting. This is really, really interesting. I'm trying to maybe think. What do we think could be a theory here? I think leading theory is... Wow, by the way, Taylor Jenkins, Arlington, Texas native. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something to think about. I would say lost the locker room. It got to a point where it was so bad that the Grizzlies ripped the Band-Aid off now, which would mean that locker room is bad, right? That would mean the locker room is so bad to do it at this point in time and not just ride it out. Tyler with the $4.99 just got here, Unk, even though I'm older than you. That's okay. We can all be Unks. OKC got fleeced on the Giddey trade. Giddey, the skinny version of 77. No, I think OKC got what they wanted in Caruso. But yeah, I think the Bulls should feel fine about that trade. Another correct, slightly biased take, man. I mean, just racking him up at this point. I saw there was the Aldama and Bane got into a little scuffle on the bench. That's not, that shit happens. That shit does happen. Theory, he clashed with the new experimental offense. So that's another theory, was that maybe he was getting a directive to the front office. Their rotations were absurd. Maybe there was a clash there, one way or the other, right? Maybe. Usually symptom of a lost locker room, though. Yeah, but there's other ways to lose the locker room. Like, the locker room can turn on a coach. Right? Like the team, it's kind of like banding together against the mean lunch lady. Like a team can sort of band together against their hatred for a coach, and everybody's sort of in lockstep, and there not be like strife within the team. But yeah, it is true that there could be a division in the team. Like, hey, half the team likes Taylor Jenkins, the other half doesn't like it, and now they're clashing in a major way. I don't know, man. I think Giddey is close to graduating this Sabonis school if you can't win playoff games with this guy. Yeah, I don't know if Giddey will ever be a playoff performer, but turning a 30-year-old Alex Caruso in a contract year into a 22-year-old, isn't that how old Giddey is? A 22-year-old who's like putting up triple doubles pretty consistently and has looked like a really good player over the last couple months. That's not bad. Now, then you get into what are you going to pay him, and then does that become worth it? That's a different conversation. Based on what? Well, if you're talking about Giddey, we saw it. He was unplayable against the Mavs last year. Now, granted, Giddey's better suited for what he's doing right now in Chicago, which is put the ball in my hands, let me sort of run the show. And that was never going to be his role with the Thunder. So leading theories, lost the locker room. Second theory, and I'm just not seeing this, going back looking at Taylor Jenkins' career. Coaching career. Jenkins interned with the San Antonio Spurs basketball operations department during the 07-08 season. From 08 to 2013, Jenkins worked as an assistant coach and head coach for the San Antonio Spurs D-League, now G-League, by the time D-League, affiliate, the Austin Toros. He then, in 2013, was an assistant for the Atlanta Hawks under Mike Budenholzer. Then followed Mike Budenholzer to Milwaukee, an assistant there. Then was hired by the Memphis Grizzlies, head coach since 2019. New theory just dropped. Did the Grizzlies maybe get a sniff that Taylor Jenkins, that Pop was going to retire from coaching and wanted Taylor Jenkins? Here was a quote from January 3rd, 2024, from Taylor Jenkins. He's the greatest of all time, Jenkins said via Kelly Eco of The Athletic. It's an honor to be able to share the court with him. He's meant so much to me in my development. The staff in San Antonio giving me my opportunity. But every time you're going to play a Popovich coach team, it's going to be a challenge. Maybe the Grizzlies got a sniff that Jenkins was... There was some talk. Maybe his eyes were on another team. Yeah, and then we get to the crazy theories. Federal investigation. Well, we did see it in the background of that interview. I wonder if we can find any quotes Craig Popovich about Taylor Jenkins. Respect runs deep between Greg Popovich and Taylor Jenkins. This is now my new favorite theory. Okay, $14 a month. Are you out of your fucking mind? Something to think about. When was the last time an NBA coach left one team for another without getting fired? Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I guess we'll just sort of monitor this over the course of the next couple of days, next few hours, just to see if there's something going on behind the scenes that maybe there would have been a trade right if he didn't get fired. From what I know the Grizzlies fans have been upset for a while. And obviously, if the Grizzlies flamed out in the playoffs, definitely felt like it was possible. Definitely felt that it was possible that he could get traded or fired had they flamed out. This is so interesting. So interesting. Weeks before the playoffs start. So yeah, something's got to be going on. I mean, maybe the front office looked at it like, there's no way we're winning a playoff series like this, so why the fuck wait? I don't know why a QR code just popped up on my screen. Am I safe? Am I about to get infiltrated? Is my computer fine? Why did a QR code just pop up on my screen for that split second? Did you guys see that? Jesus, man. Insane. FBI's on to you? Jesus. Womp, womp, womp. Well, I mean, God, this is going to be a long stream because I still got other stuff that I want to talk about. Maybe we'll bookmark this. We'll wait and see if some other stuff might come out in the coming hours. You know, I'm sure we'll hear something, but No, I'm not playing Contexto, man. I got shit to talk. Contexto is saved for when we're live streaming a game and the Mavericks are down by 26 points in the third quarter. That's where Contexto comes in, okay? 30-minute stream derailment to talk about Taylor Jenkins. That's why you come here, folks. FIBA pool group play have been announced. I know you don't really care, but I'm excited. For Eurobasket? Is that what you're talking about? When does that start? July, right? Like late July? No, I love me some Eurobasket. But like that's one of my favorite international tournaments. Because there's just like a level of what was the Lithuania had a crazy ass game last time. I forgot who they played, and Sabonis got benched down the stretch. I remember it vividly. And I remember just thinking, like, man, these countries fucking hate each other, and it's sick. Like, there's deep-rooted, it's not sports hatred. There's deep-rooted hatred there, and it's sick to see it play out on a basketball court. Don't get into something new, please. Last time we did that, they traded Luka. Wait, what did I get into something new? All right, let's... I mean, crazy segue. I had a perfect segue planned, but now we're just going to have to segue. Just going to have to segue elsewhere. Jesus, man. A couple weeks before the playoffs. Absolutely insane. We have to talk about the LeBron Stephen A. Smith thing. A world does not exist in which we can go on without talking about the Stephen A. Smith LeBron thing. I saw our guy Steve Jones Jr., friend of the program, part of the Grammy nominated, because there's an original song on there. If you guys remember my singing on it, Grammy nominated, Oscar nominated documentary published on this channel about the Luka Doncic trade. Steve Jones Jr. was on it. He tweeted out something, and I'm paraphrasing here, but you can go find it on his timeline. This interesting sort of dynamic we've now found ourselves in when it comes to basketball talk, especially online, where you have the ESPN sensationalized side of it, right, where they're just spewing nonsense and a lot of times just kind of spewing negativity about the game. And now you've had the other side who's focused on the positive sides of it, just likes talking about it, likes talking about the games. That's now felt like they have to combat the other side. And basically, in a roundabout way, the entirety of discourse surrounding the league has just turned into this ongoing fight. And that it's not productive. In which case, I do agree, right? I agree with him there. But then at the other time, on the other hand, it's like, well, if we're talking about the NBA, and look, you guys don't come here for any X's and O's type of shit, okay? I don't make shit like that, and I will not make shit like that. I've tried in the past; it's not happening, okay? So we just talk about the league, the vibes, like we just have fun here, right? Just talk about fun stuff from across the league. In that sense, obviously, we have to talk about LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith having this fucking ongoing feud. It's pretty hard to ignore it. You're talking about, in my opinion, the greatest player of all time, having this ongoing feud with this incredible public-facing figure in Stephen A. Smith, and there being endless barrages of just insane quote after insane quote after insane quote. It's pretty impossible to ignore. I agreed. Let's not talk about this, bro. I've done a good job avoiding this. I'm sorry. I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it because it's important and it matters. So I want to say this. Congratulations. Congratulations to ESPN and congratulations to Stephen A. Smith. They've done it. They've won. They have won. It's an unfortunate situation for LeBron to be in because you can't win either way. Either these guys, these guys talk about me endlessly and I just kind of let them do it and it's shitty and maybe they make stuff up about me or they say things that are incorrect about me and I ignore it and I don't correct it. Or I do correct it. I do say something about it. And now I've given them attention and now it's, they have a week-long cycle about it. It's important because this is a perfect encapsulation of what ESPN's become. And it's important because ESPN dictates what we talk about sports. ESPN is a worldwide leader of sports, right? So it's important on that front. This is what ESPN does now. It's what they used to do in the past, but they used to do it with sports. But now they just do it with their personalities. It used to be in the sports, and there's been articles written about this, really good articles. It used to be in sports, what they would do is they're a 24-hour station. And it's difficult to keep programming going for 24 hours. So what do? They bring on somebody on one of their fucking shows. They say something batshit insane. And then they spend then a week talking about, on their other shows, talking about the insane takes that somebody said on their network. So they can they have this self-sustained news cycle where, hey, let's just bring on this guy, have him say, you know what? I think the Cowboys should trade Dak Prescott to the Cleveland Browns for the second overall pick. And everyone can be like, what the hell? And now we can spend the next week talking about this. Is it a real news story? No, it's not. Is there any chance it happens? No. But we have just out of thin air generated a news story that we can now cover for the next week plus. We can have experts on. We can have local Dallas reporters on to talk about it. Like we've won, right? We did it. But that has sort of changed now to where we've seen them say goodbye to shows. We've seen them fire a lot of the journalists and analysts that we really like. They say goodbye to Zach Lowe. They've said goodbye to other people. Pardon the interruption, right? PTI is the one that's gone. No, Around the Horn is now gone. Axe, one of the favorite shows on the network, a timeless show, gone. ESPN has fallen in love with Stephen A. Smith. And it's not Stephen A. Smith's fault. Because he's incredible at what he does. He is. He's incredible. Stephen A. Smith got to a point where LeBron James was face-to-face with him courtside. Do you realize how fucking insane that is? Stephen A. Smith got to a point where LeBron James was courtside face-to-face with him in an aggressive manner. The Stephen A. Smith-LeBron feud reached such a point that now ESPN gets LeBron James to go on their second biggest, I'm assuming First Take's their biggest show, goes on their second biggest show, the Pat McAfee show, for an hour to sit there and talk about how annoying all of these journalists are. Journalists who work for ESPN, mind you. So he's going on the ESPN, one of ESPN's flagship shows, and shitting on ESPN journalists. Calling Windhorse, has Wendy ever said him and LeBron are best friends? I don't listen to a lot of Wendy stuff. When things were going really good for the Mavs, and any basketball content I could get, I would listen to the Hoop Collective. I never got the impression that Windhorse thought him and LeBron were best friends. Never got that impression. This conversation is essentially trading Dak to the Browns. You're better than this. This is real WrestleMania, and you are falling for it. It's important for me because I'm leading to a point, guys. Just let me get there. That this is where ESPN has gone. ESPN has won. This is their new strategy. It's working. They have completely and totally pulled the plug on sports. They've completely and totally pulled the plug on sports. So we have LeBron going on the Pat McAfee show. He shits on Stephen A. Smith. How does First Take start yesterday? First Take starts yesterday. Stephen A. Smith has a 20-minute monologue. 20-minute monologue about LeBron James, in which he lies about LeBron James not being at Kobe Bryant's memorial. Pretty fucked up thing to say, honestly. says that he wasn't at Dwayne Wade's jersey retirement. Is that what it was? Or statue unveiling? Mind you, this was weeks after Bronny suffered cardiac arrest. So another pretty fucked up thing to say. Also says that he would have swung on LeBron James. This is what it's all about now. This is the norm now. This is what ESPN is. They have ditched sports. They have ditched talking about sports even, and have decided, okay, you know what? Stephen A. Smith, you're incredibly popular. You're the face of this now. And by the way, can we talk about the fact that, can you imagine? And I was trying to think, would Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James getting into a physical scuffle courtside be the funniest event of the last 50 years, the saddest event, the most embarrassing? What would it have been? Personally, I think it would have been the funniest event of the last 20 years. I mean, can you imagine LeBron and Stephen A. Smith's fighting courtside? Oh, man. Come on. Can you imagine how fucking funny that would have been? But anyways, I mean, they won. It doesn't matter. And now everyone's like, Stephen A. Smith lied. Stephen A. Smith lied. It doesn't matter. ESPN won. They won. They succeeded. This whole thing has turned into a huge fiasco. Now you're tuning in to First Take. I got to see what Stephen A. Smith says. And Stephen A. Smith lies about the company thing. Okay, well, now I got to turn First Take today to see what Stephen A. Smith says about this. It sucks. Worse than Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. So in my sports brain, I'd say absolutely. LeBron James getting into a physical altercation with Stephen A. Smith would absolutely be bigger than Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Surely, right? Now, I don't know, because I very much overestimate the popularity of sports and underestimate the popularity of other celebrities. Like, I long thought, and you guys tell me what you think about this, because I've gotten in arguments about this, in an airport. Who would draw the bigger crowd in just an airport setting if they were just walking? Taylor Swift or LeBron James? I long said LeBron. But I'm like the only person who says that. Easily T Swift, Taylor. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking I'm wrong. I don't know. LeBron is like so popular though. See, I think it'd be close. I think it'd be interesting. The question was, if you're in an airport and LeBron and Taylor Swift are there for some reason, who's drawing the bigger crowd? Taylor Jenkins? Yeah. Also, Swift stands are more likely to make a fool of themselves in an airport. LeBron is the only U.S. athlete to come close to that pool in a long time, though. I don't know what I'm saying. I think it'll be close. I think it would be close. But again, maybe you see that's the problem. Is I think I vastly overestimate the stardom of celebrity or the celebrity of athletes versus other celebrities. So anyways, I'm saying this, ESPN's incredibly good at this. And it's a real fucking shame because they did used to be pretty good at the sports stuff. They made really interesting sports documentaries. They had really interesting like weekly sports shows that sort of dove deep into topics and interesting topics and controversial topics. They had, I still see sports in it from time to time. It's fine. But they had, dedicated shows to certain sports that went beyond just like NBA Today is fucking garbage. It pops up from time to time. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. You got Kendrick Perkins on there doing his best Stephen A. Smith impersonation for 30 minutes. Like, it's absolute dog shit. It's an atrocious program. But used to have like those dedicated sports shows that kind of went pretty deep into their respective leagues. That was cool. But ESPN's gotten really good at this. It's this self-sustained content cycle. We just roll Stephen A. Smith out there. That's why we pay him $100 million. Roll Stephen Smith out there. Tell him, go say some outlandish shit. And now we're getting a bunch of reactions to that. And now for the next week or 2 weeks, we have this controversy that we just started to go off of. And it's working. It works. We can sit here and be like, oh, come on, don't fall for this, don't do it. But it works. Look around. It's the biggest story from the last week. It's just crazy. And I think, so one of the things I've seen to this, and I've gone back and forth on this, is this idea like, oh, they need to have more X and O's type of shows. They need to have more, get that, like this, like, let's dive deep into the plays. Let's dive deep into the strategy and stuff like that. I think there's definitely a pretty strong niche for things like that. And I think there's a world where ESPN could put out like a weekly show or something that does that, and it could do decently well. But I think by and large, the average audience does not want that. But I think there's a world where you could do hey, sports are fun. Like sports are supposed to be fun. It's a game. We're supposed to have fun talking about sports. Well, we could do it in a fun, lighthearted manner. It could be funny. You know, we can talk about the games. We can talk about stuff that we've seen, but do it in a manner that's entertaining. You know, that's what I try to do here. And it's still be focused around the sports versus where it's at now at ESPN, where it's just purely focused around the personalities. And there's only one Stephen A. Smith. That's it. He is one of one. He's incredible. He's fucking really good at what he does. There's only one of them. But the problem is ESPN has just turned everybody else into Stephen A. Smith, and they're all terrible at it. Like, I cannot believe Kendrick Perkins has the presence he has. He's awful. I mean, God bless him. He's horrible on TV. He's actually terrible. He is horrendous on TV. It's bad. He's not entertaining. He does not articulate very well. He's difficult to understand him sometimes. It's just shocking. Like, how is this guy like the face of their NBA coverage now? What the fuck happened? It's because he goes on there every night and does his Stephen A. Smith impersonation, and he's horrible at it. But it doesn't matter because he says stupid ass shit, and then we talk about it for the next 2 weeks. This is why, like, at times, we'll be talking about stuff, and then people will be like, do you see what Kendrick Perkins has to say about Luka or whatever? I remember this happened a lot last year, and I just be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care at all. Stephen A. Smith is like Kendrick Perkins hasn't reached a Stephen A. Smith level. Kendrick Perkins can say things that people don't really care. We'll just point and laugh at him. But that's kind of like ESPN's turned him into a lolcow. Where Stephen A. Smith can go out there and now all of a sudden he's threatening to fight LeBron James, and LeBron James is spending a week talking about it. Like that's where we're at. And I went back and I looked. I made my New Year's predictions stream. I went back and I looked. One of my predictions was Stephen A. Smith would leave ESPN and go straight into politics and work at Fox News. Now, he signed a $100 million contract. He's not leaving ESPN. But he's going into politics. I promise you that. He's going into politics. And I don't think it's going to be for the Democratic Party. I do not think it would be. He's saying it now. I'm looking at the LeBron stuff a little bit differently. Trying to win over a crowd. He tries to blend Shaq and Stephen A. Smith commentary, and they call him NBA champ Perk. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. This unironically hurts his polling with young people, though. I'm telling you, a world in which Stephen A. Smith is a presidential candidate in 2028 is really not outlandish. That's where we are. It's really not outlandish. I don't see a world where he shifts to conservative. Let's see how the next 3 years go. Let's see if there maybe wants to be a tonal shift. I'm just imagining Stephen A. Smith running for president. Honest to God, I think it could happen. 2028 is going to be a fucking disaster. I'm telling you right now. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is on the table. Who else? I think Cuban's too old at this point, honestly. But I'm trying to think of younger celebs. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's absolutely on the table. Think about Clooney's on the table. Like, I think that's the level that we're going to be reaching in the next few years. Just being dead honest with you. Too old, that's a good one. No, they're going to want to start shifting young, I think. That would be my guess. It's what they really should do, but I don't know. But Donald Trump, Barack Obama, 2028 presidential election. Oh, brother. Brother. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So by 2028. Won't be old enough to run for president then, guys. You got to be 35 years old to run for president. Don't know if you know that or not. You got to be 35. I won't be 35 in 2028. I'm sorry to say it, guys. I would not be 35. In fact, really wouldn't be all that close to it. So 2032, it's on the table. It's on the table. Which you will you be by inauguration? No, I wouldn't, man. No, I wouldn't. Shaq would be a pretty good candidate. Approval rating would be off the charts. I'm trying to imagine Shaq as president. My God, what a shit show. I mean, what a shit show. The Mavs played last night. They got to win. They're 3-0 when Anthony Davis plays. Noticing. And he hasn't even really played all that good the last 2 games. Noticing. The noticer. The United States are cooked if they don't learn from these mistakes. No, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will be running for president in 2028. Okay. Weird game for the Mavs. So I'm just off rip going to say this. Great defensive performance by Dallas. I thought they really played well defensively. I was very impressed by Caleb Martin last night. You do see the vision with him. Very impressed with him defensively. Flying around. When the Mavs, as a team, how much they like to switch, Caleb Martin is a valuable player for them. So I do see the vision with him 100%. Does that mean I'm defending the trade? No. But I don't, assuming, let's just say Caleb Martin's on the team next year and they're somewhat healthy, I think we'll be looking at him a little bit differently. So I thought their defense was really solid last night. As far as AD, I'm just going to say this right away. I'm not entirely sure He just came back from an injury. So you give him some time. He hasn't shot well in these 2 games that he's been back, against the Nets and against the Magic. Really didn't shoot well last night. Physically, he looks terrible, right? Now, watching him play, I can't quite decide if what we're seeing is him maybe still dealing with a little bit of an injury and not being near 100%, or if he and his team thought, all right, game 1 against the Rockets, your first game with the Mavs, was just on another level, like the intensity and the effort that we were playing at, dealing with an injury. So let's kind of maybe tone it down. Maybe we pick our spots, but let's sort of ease our way into things. And that's kind of what it feels like. Conditioning's not there yet. He was out for 6 weeks. So, and I'm assuming with sort of the injury that he had, it's probably hard to keep up with your conditioning, right? Like certain upper body injuries, you can kind of keep up with your conditioning and cardio a little bit while you're recovering. The abductor injury, I have to imagine it's pretty difficult to stay in game shape, right? With that, similar to like a lower body injury. So cardio for sure. I mean, I'm not jumping to any conclusions with him in his shooting stuff because he's just coming back from an injury. But I do wonder if there's kind of a level of let me sort of coast a tiny bit. I don't want to go too hard. That's kind of what it looks like. Because you watch guys come back from injuries, and I'm thinking about Luka coming back from his calf strain this year, and it's like you see them, they're trying to do all the things they normally do, but you can just tell they're steps slower, trying to get back into it. Obviously, they're huffing and puffing up and down the court because they got to get their cardio back. AD, it does kind of feel like it's just coasting at times, and I know that's the motor stuff is stuff that's gotten brought up with him in the past. I know that for sure. But he's back and playing NBA games, and he must be healed. You can't play with that sort of injury lingering. No, yeah, I think he's healthy enough to play. Obviously, they wouldn't risk it. But they're really trying to play through him. You see the vision with the post ups and him drawing double teams and the ball moving around. Just didn't shoot well last night. But I see the vision, and it does excite me. I thought the Mavs, again, were tremendous defensively last night. The Magic made 5 fucking threes. I mean, they're just, man. Paolo was incredible, 35 points, but man. Too many turnovers for the Magic. They can't hit the broadside of a barn, right? They couldn't hit the ocean if they were sitting on a boat. It's shocking how terrible they are. 3-point shooting team. They said on the broadcast that they're on pace to be the worst 3-point shooting team. I think I heard since 2013, which is pretty remarkable in this era to be that bad from 3. That bad from 3, top to bottom. And a shout out to our man, Jaden Hardy, because I've said stuff about Jaden Hardy. He absolutely carried the team in this game. It did look like for a time that the Mavs were going to lose this one, but a massive third quarter surge by the Mavericks, led by 3 threes by Jaden Hardy. He had 2 threes in the fourth quarter, had 19 points in the second half, and propelled this team to a win for sure. Hardy Party did go crazy. Some people were calling him a superstar merchant. Hardy only plays well when a superstar is on the court. Hey, maybe that's true. The vision for Hardy is making threes. When he's knocking down threes at a high level, you see it. And he does have, and what, like, I tweeted out the, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in when it comes to Hardy, because you see it. Those stretches where he makes like 3 threes in the span of 2 minutes. You're like, oh shit. And you wonder if maybe he could get to a spot consistently where he's coming off the bench and he's this sort of spark plug. We know we're going to get a stretch from Hardy in this game where he's knocking down 3 threes. It's just, it's so interesting with him. He just doesn't do a lot of other things. So it makes it to when he's not knocking down threes, it can look ugly. You know what I mean? Hardy's supposed to be better than Boncaro. That's crazy. Oh, coming out of high school? Is our record even different if AD doesn't play? He wasn't really amazing in the Magic game, and we probably beat the Nets anyways. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. They're a different looking team. Just having the gravity of a, don't sleep on the mental aspect of having a superstar on the court. And what that does for your gravity, what that does for your spacing, what that does for just the geometry of the court, what that does for, again, especially when you don't have a lot of on-ball creators, having a guy like that just kind of opens up things a little bit. Hardy's so frustrating. Every time you think it's time to move on from him, he shows flashes like last night. We got to get Hardy into this space where it's just like, hey, your job's to shoot threes. Can we get Hardy to the point where it's like, hey, your job's to be a knockdown three-point shooter? That is priority number one for you. Everything else is secondary, and we have to cut out all of the bad things. That's not number one. We're okay with you missing threes. I am perfectly fine with Hardy missing threes. That does not bother me. If Hardy shoots and misses a three, I have no issues with that whatsoever, right? It's when we get the possessions where Hardy's throwing up, like these elbow jumpers with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. That's just like, what? I don't love that shot, right? Where Hardy's sort of driving into the paint. There's two guys contesting him at the rim, and he throws up a crazy shot. I don't love that. Where Hardy's kind of over dribbling and then dribbles it off the side of his foot, and it's a turnover. Those are the things we have to cut out. Those cannot exist in your game. And, they're going to happen from time to time. But I'm saying they can't happen with any consistency. And if you get to that point, yeah, I do think he can be a rotation player if his three-point shooting numbers are good enough. Do you think B-Will can be in the guard rotation next season while we wait for Kai? Honestly, yes. I don't want to fall for any crazy March things, but I don't know, man. He's so smooth. He generates advantages pretty easily. He beats guys pretty consistently. And I'm talking good defenders, too. He collapses the defense, I would say, fairly easily. I don't know, man. That stuff plays. I especially with Kyrie out, I'm assuming they're going to go out and get ball handlers. But having him on the team next year, I think, could be a good thing for sure. So anyways, that win for a brief moment pushed the Mavericks up to the 9 seed in the West. But the Kings did go on to win last night against the Blazers, blew them out. So the Mavs are currently 10th. The Kings are 9th. The baffling Kings, the pathetic Suns, who play the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. That's a big game for both teams. That actually will be a really fun game. That's a massive game for both teams. We saw last year the Suns kind of got their mojo against the Timberwolves towards the end of the season. But that's a huge game. And we know the Mavs beating the Magic last night was pretty big. They play a hot Chicago Bulls team tomorrow night in Chicago. That's not going to be easy, especially with how the Bulls have played offensively lately. You're really going to have to bring it on that end of the court. And then Brooklyn at home, Atlanta at home. I don't know, 2-1, 3-0 even feels possible over that stretch. And the rest of the way, you've got 2 games against the Clippers. You do have the Lakers on Wednesday night, but that's the second night of a back-to-back for LA. There's no chance in hell they don't play Luka, but they're going to get gored by the Bulls. It's possible. Then a Raptors team, second to last game of the season. What the hell do you think they're going to look like? Second to last game of the season for Toronto. There's going to be guys on the court you've never even heard of. And then a Grizzlies team that just fired their coach. Hope Toronto takes Miami's playing spot. Miami's won 3 in a row. 6-game lead for them. Feels really unlikely. Feels really unlikely. I mean, I'm hoping we see a strong AD performance soon, and could be against the Bulls. And I'm just going off of stuff that they've reported and kind of how this team operates, where you won't hear news about a guy for a while, and then boom, all of a sudden they're back. I would not be surprised at all if Lively's playing in one of these games next week. Probably not against Brooklyn. Maybe against Atlanta. I think that's 100% possible that Lively's playing in this Hawks game right here, or one of the Clippers games. Haven't heard much of anything about Gafford, but Lively, definitely on the table. And I want to see, I do, if AD's going to be back, then let's go. Lively, AD, I want to see that. Actually, we were locked into our seed, so basically I wouldn't be surprised to see Brandon Ingram get a couple games in at the very end of the season. You don't think there's a world where they can improve their draft position? 26 wins. Yeah, they do kind of feel pretty comfortable there. Just do the play-in? No, I mean, if... Breaking news, Paige Beckers confirmed to us today that she will enter the 2025 WNBA draft. Someone suggested she would not declare play-in unrivaled, then declare in 2026. Welcome to Dallas, Paige. Never in doubt. Never in doubt, baby. We beat the Nets and Wizards recently, which sealed it pretty much. All right, then maybe the Raptors just throw shit out there, but also at the same time, second to last game of the season, your season's probably over at that point. Sometimes teams don't want to risk injury or anything like that. Did that she was going for a 6-year? There was some rumors, and I think most of it was speculation, that she might at least hold somebody hostage and basically say, or hold Dallas hostage in an effort to try and go to LA or something, and say, oh, don't draft me. Like, I'm going to go back to school instead of going to your team. Or I'm going to go play an unrivaled or whatever. Instead of going to the Wings. But that appears to maybe not be the case. That appears to maybe not be the case. Man, that Suns Timberwolves game tonight. I'm pretty excited about that, actually. That's a fun game. They got Minnesota as favorites, but I mean, obviously favorites, but like big favorites. I don't know. That kind of feels like that's going to be an absolute fucking dogfight. Mavs play the Bulls tomorrow. I'll not be able to stream that game. My dad's coming to the town. Gonna hang out with him. What other games we got? Kings Magic. That's a big one for the Mavs tomorrow as well. Pacers Thunder's pretty fun. Lakers Grizzlies. Ooh. We know John Morant's not playing in this one. That'll be kind of interesting. First game post firing. Would you rather play Sac or Suns first play? And definitely the Kings. Definitely the baffling Kings. Suns are 4-1 with Gillespie in the starting lineup. I got to give Budenholzer some props, and maybe you can hold it against them for not doing this earlier in the season. But they're really moving the puzzle pieces. You know, they're really moving the pieces around the board. They're trying shit. Sunday we've got some marquee games: Clippers, Cavs. Ooh, in Cleveland. Could this be a game for the Clippers? You remember last year? The Clippers had that game in January where they went to Boston and stomped the Celtics. And everyone was like, whoa, what the fuck? Remember that? That was when we started to get the Clippers actually are the best team in the league. Takes. Could this be the Clippers are back? They've been playing really well. Kawhi's been playing at an unbelievable level. Is this maybe an instance where the Clippers go into Cleveland, who Cleveland has been struggling lately, and beat the Cavs in Cleveland, and we're all like, whoa, hold on. How seriously are we taking this? Pistons, Timberwolves, there will be a brawl in that game, almost guaranteed. So tune into that one. almost certainly will be at least one, maybe even two brawls in that game. Rockets Suns on Sunday. Go Rockets. I want to see the Mavs in the play-in tournament now that they're committed to AD being back. What are we looking like in the tournament tonight? Isaiah Stewart's ditching? Yeah, there'll almost certainly be a brawl in that game. Ole Miss, Michigan State. Fuck you. Oh, I didn't even talk about Mark Cuban's comments lately about the trade and stuff like that. About him not. Should I talk about that? God, I cannot believe Mark Cuban. Is that even worth our time at this juncture? More Cuban trade comments. No, it wasn't really trade comments, but he basically confirmed that he thought he was going to still be in charge of basketball operations. And the NBA wouldn't allow him. This is what he said. I'm paraphrasing. The NBA wouldn't allow him to put it in the contract. And he thought the Adelsons would keep their word, but they didn't. So that's basically, that's a nasty relationship, Cuban and the Adelsons. That's a nasty relationship is basically what. Yeah, confirmed. Can't believe he thought that shit would happen. Seriously. Ole Miss, Michigan State. Fuck Chris Beard. Let's go Spartans. Kentucky, Tennessee. Wow, that's a good one. Who do I got in that one? I think I don't even remember. And basically, none of this shit matters to me. I gotta get Houston and Tech in the championship game. That's all that matters to me at this point. I gotta get it. If I get it, I can win my bracket pool that I get paid money for. Now, I will say, I know they planned this all out before and stuff like that, all these venues, but like the San Francisco region for the Sweet 16, you got Arkansas and Texas Tech, okay, two teams nowhere close to San Francisco, and you've got Maryland and Florida, two teams nowhere close to San Francisco. So I do got it. Like, what's the point of that? I don't understand it. Cuban deleted all of his comments from that post. Well, nothing gets deleted forever. Like I don't really get it. Why are you putting 4 Central to East Coast teams in the West? I don't. But all right. Whatever. I know it really doesn't matter, but just a little annoying, I guess. Why would you want to play a championship game in a Chase Center rather than a local oil stadium, big crowd? Why would you rather want to play a championship game in Chase Center rather than a local oil stadium? Oil stadium. Oh, are you saying Lucas Oil? Dude, because have you seen them? Like, the games at football fields feel terrible. I don't know what it just feels bad. Play them in a basketball stadium, man. That are built to be basketball stadiums. The football stadiums look so goofy when they pan around, and it's just like, it really puts into perspective the size of a basketball court. Like, the basketball court in the middle of the fucking football field looks so stupid. It looks silly. It just looks so silly. Looks like a bad Minecraft build or something. It's like, hey, man, come look at my Minecraft basketball court. And you go in there and you're like, what the? Looks good, bro. My Rangers lost last night. That's all right. Long season. Season's over because they lost, but it's still a long season. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. And there won't be... Somebody asked if we're going to do playback for the Rangers game tonight. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see some fam this weekend. So it'll be a busy weekend for me fam-wise. So probably not. Although I did love streaming the Rangers game last night. It's just easy, you know. It's just easy. Big chillin', you know. Do you see the NBA say the NBA draft? LeBron say the NBA draft is rigged? Well, I mean, Patrick Ewing frozen envelope feels like a pretty rock solid theory. I think almost every basketball person, basketball historian almost believes that to be 100% true, right? I wish not, but we getting Cooper. If the draft lottery was rigged, then hey, let's give Dallas some life, Silver. Let's inject the city of Dallas with some life again with Cooper Flag. Huh? I mean, who else is in the lottery? Who else are we going to rig it for? Are you going to rig it for Washington? Like, do we want Cooper Flag on the Wizards or Hornets? Brooklyn, I could see the New York angle there. Philly? No. Come on. No fucking chance. Toronto, I could see the Canadian angle there. Right? Miami. Gross. Chicago, I could see an angle there. Spurs, go fuck yourself. Utah, I could see the angle actually for Utah. Very strong basketball city. Love their basketball there. Pelicans, that ain't happening. Who has the Suns picks this year? Houston, right? Houston via the Suns? They didn't get to the Mavericks. Rig it. Rig it. No, I'm not going to stream the Rangers game tonight. At least that's not my plan right now. That pick will go back to Phoenix for KD. Just watch. I still don't think the Rockets are like in a position to do something like that. But I do guess you never know. Send a letter to Adam Silver, slightly biased. Tell him Dallas needs Cooper Flag. Maybe we do that. Maybe we write an open letter. Dear Adam Silver, look, I'm not an idiot. I know you rigged the lottery. It's okay. OKC is in the best position to take on KD, which is terrifying. That would be hilarious. AD goes back to OKC. I can't see it. Just don't think the Thunder would do that. Rockets, maybe there's a... I still just think he's too old. He doesn't fit the timeline. You know? I think if I had to guess right now where KD ends up, I've completely left the Mavs thing just because hearing the way that they talk, I don't see them doing that actually. But I would guess Miami would be my guess. That would be my guess. Rockets are the second seed. KD fits the timeline. Yeah, I guess if they feel like they want to be uber aggressive, then it's possible. Miami would be my guess, though. We have to give up way too much for KD just to pursue him in the 26 offseason if we want him. Yeah, the Mavs would have just... Their roster would be so gutted. Unless you're able to, with the Kyrie injury, get Kyrie for such a cheap price, which I don't see happening either. All right, folks, thank you all for coming out. All the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Friday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, you guys never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. Makes me feel so good. We will be, next time you hear from me, will almost certainly be Monday mornings. slightly early. Same time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, love you all. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Be safe as always. I will chat with you all later. Bye.